Come here, bitch. Make out with me.
New Year's what it used to be? Are we older or is it just, I don't know. I felt like I didn't know what channel to put my TV on. Used to be Dick Clark or bust. Now it's like Dick Clark's New Year's Rockin' Eve with Ryan Seacrest. Then you got Anderson Cooper and his boyfriend just boozing the shit out of the night on CNN, which is entertaining. Not going to take it away from those guys. Then I don't know. It's like there's too much. There's too much stuff. It's too much stuff.
Paralysis by analysis. It's too much New Year's, too many options, too many dicks.
Not enough Clarks. Yeah. Yeah, I think so, maybe. I don't know. I guess this is the thing from our generation, which will never be imposed upon the current folks, is that it was narrowed down, man. We had a pipeline. You got funneled in. You had 3 choices, and 2 of them gave up when Dick Clark fucking owned the world. So I was like, we ain't even trying. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna put reruns All in the Family on. We'll put the Jeffersons on the other station, and then Dick Clark owns the night. So people who hate music and fun, you can watch some reruns. It's okay.
Dick Clark had a stroke and was still owning it afterwards. Was like, I'm having trouble talking. Like, fucking A, man. Happy New Year, brother.
Just introduce the next musical act and get on with life, buddy. Good job. Well done.
Yeah. I I'm trying to think of. I almost think the Super Bowl kind of ruined some of this. Like when you could like deviate from halftime shows. It was like, oh, MTV's doing this, or ESPN's doing this, or like the halftime show extravaganza spinning off from the Super Bowl, thus spawned the multiple / now dozens upon dozens of options for New Year's Eve. And a vast majority of them are at least East Coast. And I had this conversation last night with the people that I was with. Mind you, no television. It was great. We just looked at our phones.
As it should be.
Yeah, that's right. A vast majority of these people, it's taking place in New York City. So are you really like reinventing the wheel with this whole like, oh, here we are live at Times Square? But so I get what you're saying, but it's just kind of it's the same old shit. It's music, it's hot women, it's co-host, it's some celebrity who's way too drunk trying to make a name for themselves. It's
it's all right. I know, but I feel as though in this era where everybody feels like they're scattershot from the barrel of a shotgun, just divided in all directions politically, from an entertainment standpoint, just any and everything that can divide us is dividing us. I feel like we need that one simulcast on one event that would maybe bring us together. Like, everybody saw this one thing because everybody was focused on it. Everybody saw the same ball drop in New York City because everybody was tuned to the same channel. They weren't over on, I don't know, the fucking Cartoon Network watching slime drip down a wall to ring in the new year. If everybody, it's just one event where everybody could say, I saw that at the same time, all eyeballs, just a communal moment, which is what the holiday's supposed to. It's not even really a holiday, you know what I mean? Yeah. I always feel weird about New Year's. It's like, what are we doing?
You're also suspending the corporate greed that is television in America. Because like you said, there were 3 options. 2 of those options bowed out and said like, okay, we're not competing with Dick Clark. All right, we're gonna have to succumb to that. We're actually have to like simulcast Dick Clark through a camera that's filming a television on a 7-second delay on our network and just fuzz out the other network's logo in the corner. I just feel like it's just so many options. These and the opportunity to sell advertising dollars. These channels aren't going to fucking deviate from that. Now, I mean, you're going to get the Amazons and the Netflix of the world doing their thing too.
Yeah,
if they aren't already. I don't know. I mean, I'm an old dude now.
No, well, I mean, I know Netflix wasn't because that's where Stranger Things was having its 2-hour finale, which brings me to my next point. I watched it. I thought it was good. And I know that the internet's gonna rip me to shreds for admitting that I actually liked something that a group of people worked really hard on to present to me in the most positive fashion imaginable. And we're kind of doing it ourselves. I feel like maybe I'm being a little bit of a hypocrite here. Like, I don't like New Year's Eve, rabble, rabble. And then I'm bitching about the people who say they didn't like the ending to Stranger Things. I don't know. I feel like we're in this era where it's not cool to like anything anymore. Does that make sense?
No.
Really? Okay.
I think, unless you elaborate a little bit.
Like, it's not hip to like anything. It's almost not hip to admit that you just enjoyed something. We are in an era of human history where no matter how entertained we were, we must find the flaw and express it to the world. We can't just accept things for what they are anymore.
Right.
We must find why we didn't like it and eliminate all the reasons we tuned into it in the first place.
Yeah, I kind of feel like, okay, we got our first hint of that with the ending of The Sopranos. Okay. Because the internet was... But if you backtracked, like, I don't know, 8 to 10 years, if Seinfeld ended today or in the last 5 years, there'd have been lynchings. There'd have been people who'd have killed themselves.
Here, I will defend the hatred for the finale of Seinfeld because I do fall into that camp. I think why I didn't like the end of Seinfeld is because it was such a well-written show that I didn't anticipate that the finale would be a kind of greatest hits clip show. I know that the storyline was like, let's put them on trial for being awful humans and all of that. Yeah. And here is the evidence. But then the evidence turned into some Johnny Carson, like, go to the clip and show. Sure. And it didn't need to be that.
Okay, I get what you're saying. It's just, very, very seldomly have we ever had a sitcom or show or whatever end the way people want it to end. I mean, even Cheers. People were like, oh, I didn't like that. They got the what's-her-face came back and tried to talk Sam into going to California. People like these things. They don't want them to end.
Yeah, that's true. But I feel like, okay, for me, I'd watched Stranger Things every season, and then I didn't watch them again until I binged them a couple of weeks ago to get all the way up to the point that we were.
You got yourself a little. Gotcha. Look at you. New year, same you.
There it is, man. But it was a series finale. Like, it's going to end, and the people who wrote the show were like, we got to put a bow on both the plot that we're currently following and the entirety of the plot that occurred for 10 years previous to this. So, I don't know, people are pissed because they're like, an hour in, the essential plot of this season comes to a conclusion, and then basically the bow starts to be tied for the entire series. I thought it was well crafted. I thought it was well done. I thought the story was well told. I thought there was just enough ambiguity in, like, what happened. I don't want to spoil everything, but what happened to some of the characters.
I have a question, because Sarah and I both have only watched the first season, and we've talked about just going back and watching the first season and watching all of them all the way through the ending, which just took place. She has a theory. I think it's a really good one. You can just quickly, yes or no. You won't ruin it for me. I won't care. I'm not
okay, that's fine. No, go ahead. I will be amazed to have to delete like 9 years of plot and see what happens. Yes.
She thinks that at the ending, it's someone playing Dungeons and Dragons, and everything that you watched was a retelling of a D&D campaign, and when it's done, they're like, "Oh, that was great, guys. We should play again sometime."
No. But maybe. Which is why it was a great ending. That's like my point. Is like there's a lot of, I'll say, Inception-esque no but maybes that they kind of left you on. Whereas if you are literal and take it for exactly what your brain and eyeballs saw, then there was a definitive end. But if you took it as, the whole show was about trickery and misdirection, so maybe. So great ending. Here you go. Everybody is rightfully angry about the ending to Game of Thrones. There was a point where the writer and then the people, the writer of the books and the maker of the series, they diverged, and there is a hard fork in the road. Like, I'm talking like Muppets style, like literal fork in the road, and one went left and one went right, and the one that created it had the right idea. The ones that were just kind of visually telling the story had the wrong idea. And it was bad. It was bad, and people were rightfully upset over that one. But I'm thinking of like all the Marvel stuff that's come out. Go back and watch Iron Man. Not the greatest movie if you watch it again. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is amazing. The pacing's pretty good. The ending is kind of meh. But we hadn't seen anything like it yet. This is 2008. And everybody's like, oh, fuck. Anytime something mediocre that's never been done before looks great on first blush.
Well, that's it. I was watching it the other day, and I'll watch it anytime it's on cable television. Independence Day.
Perfect example. That's one where we had just left. I always say Last Action Hero is the delineation line in like how action movies were made previous and post. And Independence Day fell just after that. Last Action Hero, like, we have to have some realism in here. It can't all just be, no one has to reload their guns, infinite shots, blah, blah, blah. But the technology for the visuals hadn't quite gotten there yet. But at the time, we didn't know that. We were just like, oh, no, you never seen nothing like this before.
They blowed up the Empire State Building and the White House.
And by the way, they actually used mostly... what do you call it? The effects that are real. Not digital effects. Traditional, like they built wooden models and actually blew them up.
It's kind of practical. Like Star Wars-esque, miniature models. Yeah,
and it looks pretty goddamn good. They put a camera really close to a really tiny fucking building, blew it up, and they're like, "Map looks good." And then you get to like the George Lucas, the prequels for Star Wars, where it's like, you can't tell the difference between computer software and reality anymore. It's like, nah, give it 10 years. I guarantee goddamn you're wrong. And here we are 20, 25 years later, and it's just like, ugh, what'd you do, George? Ugh.
Yeah. Jar Jar Binks looks like a fucking clown.
Well,
always will be. Always will.
But
I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. But how does that translate into what we were talking about Stranger Things?
Immediately before it released at 8 p.m. on the East Coast. Within 2 hours and 10 minutes of that release, there's already just dead ass hate online about everything about it. It's like, did you guys even like sit in reflection for like a minute after the credits rolled to wonder if you liked it or not? I don't know. It was good. It wasn't. Okay, let me put it this way. It wasn't like, oh my God, I'll never see television like that again. But it certainly wasn't like, I just wasted my time. It was absolutely in the middle of that. And based on a lot of the finales that we've talked about, it hitting the mid-mark is the benchmark. Not going overboard to where everybody is like, no, you have to continue this, but not lowballing it so much so that people are left like empty inside, like they wasted their life, like they did with in a Game of Thrones and maybe that last scene of Sopranos. This was, if you're gonna do it, I honestly walked away from it thinking like, those Duffer boys got it right. Well done, sirs. And then you open the internet, it's like, ooh, what happened?
Thousands of Reddit threads, which is amazing to me anymore, because like within 20 minutes there's a Reddit thread and hundreds of comments. Anything like this, or not even quite like this, things that are totally inconsequential. Okay, so Martha Stewart today. Blah. Oh my God. Wait, what? Ugh, okay.
Well, and Superman that came out over the summer, I happen to feel like it was an enjoyable movie. I'm not saying it was the best Superman movie of all time, but it was a different direction on the character, and it's just people, I don't know. I feel like people, if they don't get what they thought was in their head, then it was bad. And even though they're not the ones putting pen to paper or fingers to keyboards and actually pumping this shit out, because creating's hard. I don't know if you guys realize this. Designing something from scratch, putting it to vision and out to the public is a difficult task.
And convincing someone to pump the money into it.
Mm-hmm.
A production company or producer or producers.
and just trusting someone's vision that this is the way the story was supposed to be told. It's hard to get all these moving parts all lined up so that, and they did it all for you. I mean, you can claim like, wow, they made millions of dollars. They didn't know they were going to make millions of dollars when they pitched it, and no one took it except for that. What's his name? Sean Levy convinced Netflix that he would fit the bill if they would buy the product. And then these two guys who had never really produced anything ever got to make their vision, and the fucking world ate it up for almost a decade. Great characters, great storytelling, good finale.
And I didn't realize that this was based off of Dungeons and Dragons.
I mean,
listen, I'm not going to be able to connect the dots. All I heard was it was, and I said, really? And people who watched the show said, holy shit, you used to play as a teenager and you didn't fucking know that? And I was like, my bad, man. I know nothing about most things, so I apologize for not knowing the premises of this. But by the way, it leads me to a funnier story that happened on the day after Christmas.
Well, real quick, the Dungeons and Dragons thing is like the kids play Dungeons and Dragons and they base all of their ability to figure out what's happening around them on characters from Dungeons and Dragons. So it's like they name certain creatures things, and then they're like, okay, well, it's acting much like the Mind Flayer. So in Dungeons and Dragons, then everybody's like, you know, the non-nerds are like, well, what's a Mind Flayer? Well, a Mind Flayer is, and they explain it, and they base their plans on how to fight it on how they would fight a Mind Flayer, and they happen to be successful every time they do this.
Gotcha.
So you can claim it's Dungeons and Dragons, but it's not. But you're right, it kind of is.
Okay. So when this was told to me the day after Christmas at Sarah's family's function, which we held the day after Christmas on the 26th. So obviously my nephews, I'm getting to see all the shit they got for Christmas. And it wasn't Dungeons and Dragons board game, but it was something brought to you by Dungeons and Dragons. And the cover of it looks like it's, you know, from a D&D handbook. It's got dragons and warriors and wizards and you know, everything from the garden variety Dungeons and Dragons movement that you would know. And obviously the nerd in me who used to play gets kind of excited. I was like, oh my God, holy shit, this is wild. And I said, can I open it? And they're like, well, there's a lot of pieces, so be careful. I was like, I tell you what, I'll just open a little bit of it. And then I'm talking to my brother-in-law, my nephew's dad, and I said something about like, I was like, have you guys played this? He's like, oh yeah, we played we played the day after, like later on in the evening when we got home from Christmas. And I was like, okay, really? And started going on. I said, was this something like you kind of sit down and play? He's like, oh no. This is a 6-hour puppy. This is a 6-hour game, buddy. This is not your 1-hour Monopoly pit stop.
Well, I think something that folks should maybe take away from Stranger Things is that Dungeons and Dragons is a good way to sit down with a group of individuals and do something creative with your mind that is enriching to you and all around you that doesn't have anything to do with electronics.
Yeah.
I'm so upset because where I grew up, there's not like people, you know,
right.
I don't have neighbors. I don't have like a neighborhood friend group that I could have just dragged into the dining room and said, I would have loved to have played. And I bought William something. We've never opened it. We've opened it, but we haven't played it. We haven't even attempted because, yeah, it's daunting. It's like, I think what they got is they're now doing pre-made character with all the stats kind of pre-created. Now, the longer you play, the more you can enhance the stats and you can make little notes.
But it's not creating the character from scratch. It's like the traditional sense where you roll for every it's like I can't remember what they're called. It's like power, dexterity, wisdom, intelligence. Those things are called something. I can't remember what it is.
Yeah,
someone's going to correct me in the world.
Yeah, you've already got attributes already attached to the entire sheet, and that way you can go right out the box. And they've already got campaigns like pre-written, like a novel, then almost like a choose your own adventure book. Like you as the dungeon master or whatever get to decide what happens with each roll of the dice. Do they go this way? Do they go that way? But they've already
it's kind of like a dungeon master's beginner's guide to dungeon mastering. You know what I mean? Okay, you can enhance this, but here's the baseline. And they kind of did that back in the day. It did require some pretty thorough reading, but I get what you're saying. That makes sense.
Yeah, and so for somebody who's a novice that's never even attempted to play, that doesn't know anybody, and nobody's older brother who's twice removed from their sister's cousin that played before can teach you.
Right.
So you can learn it yourself and kind of get an idea. Because I like honestly, they have binders in Stranger Things of their dungeon characters, and it's just years worth of campaigns and the characters like gaining abilities and all this horse shit. And yeah, I would have loved to do that. And there's a great clip online. It's one of the ladies that's in oh shit, what's she in? She's in Daredevil, and she's sitting down with John Bernthal on his podcast, and she's talking about her love of Dungeons and Dragons. He's like, I've never played. She's like, you want to play right now? He's like, right now? She's like, yeah, just we'll pretend we'll pretend we have dice. I'll just make up numbers. And she's like, you see, like whatever, an owl bear in the distance. And John Bernthal, being an actor, being curious, is like, have I ever seen one of these before? She's like, ooh, great question. Your perception is 6. Roll the dice. And she's like, okay, so you rolled a 7, which means that's a 12, or 13. That means yes, you're aware of them, but you've never encountered them before. And then he's like, oh. Well, is it dangerous? Okay, let's. And then she keeps going. She's like, "This is Dungeons. This is Dungeons and Dragons." And he's like, "Holy shit! Yeah, that's fun. Yeah. That's a good time."
This is actually. I was telling my brother-in-law this at the same Christmas party back in the day when I did play. So Brother Dewey Love, and another guy used to take turns being the DM, Dungeon Master. So it's like you run a campaign, the other person is playing, but also planning another one when they get the chance to take over. The other guy who was the DM was fucking hyper thorough. They used to take notes and do all this critical planning, and it wasn't. I'm not knocking it. These turned out to be a lot of fun, but it was just so much effort into some things that could go haywire. For instance, day 1 of the campaign, we run into an abandoned tree fort. So we just decide to take it over. So we go in, we rebuild it, we build a little colony, we hunt, we fish, we charge people toll to pass through, etc., etc. We build fucking like armor and slingshots and bow and arrows and stands and things like that. After the end of the campaign, he was like, you guys weren't even supposed to stop there. I had like 15 pages of stuff after that. I got so mad. You guys are just supposed to leave.
That's so funny. No, there's a great video online. I can't remember his name. Joe, the guy that was in Magic Mike. He was married to Sofia Vergara for a minute. Joe Manganiello or whatever the fuck his name is.
He was married to Sofia Vergara? I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. Those prime years too. Like, I mean, her prime years were like in her 40s, so he got her like right in the meat of it. But no, he apparently has been playing they were on this one campaign for like 2 or 3 years, and everybody at the table thinks the campaign's coming to an end. And apparently he has his character has some magic where he can like absorb things. And this beast that they killed, like its hand had special powers, and somebody had cut off the hand. But his character was a thief. So it's like right before the end, he attaches the hand to his...
Thanos' style.
Yeah, and then opens a portal and takes off. And they're like, what the fuck does that mean? And he's like, I guess that means the campaign continues next year, boys. And he just closes his fucking binder and like walks off. It's like, holy shit, that's awesome. Yeah, and no distraction from screens. It'd be a good thing, I think, to get the world reintroduced to that. And I feel like the Duffer Brothers tried to do that for the last 10 goddamn years, and you people aren't satisfied.
You always have your Reddit threads. Middle Class Souls, everyone. Murr and Foxman here on the... actually, it's 1/1/26. When you hear this, is going to be 1/2. But I'm glad we decided to record. I was getting a little flustered. I was thinking, like, man, 2 weeks off, that's too much. We haven't done that in our 5 years of existence. Have we?
I don't think so. I think 2's the longest we've ever gone. But yeah, it's getting itchy for the mic.
I was sitting around doing nothing today, watching bowl games, scratching my ass, farting, drinking light beer, like a true Americana on 1/1, and beginning of a new year. But I have a list. Britannica has the year in review. I'm going to rattle off some things chronologically. You tell me if you want to stop or have a comment or have a joke or a pun or think just something stupid. I'm not going to read all of them, but you get the hint. January 7th, wildfires erupt in the Los Angeles area. January 20th, Donald Trump is inaugurated as the president of the United States again, as the oldest person, 2 non-consecutive terms. 70
Well, wait, with the January fires, was that the Palisades fires, or was that just other random
Palisades and Eaton Canyon? One of the costliest disasters to strike the United States with an estimated value of either estimated between 76 to 131 billion.
Yeah, that's
a discrepancy, but I get it.
That's a big
insurance
deal.
Companies are probably involved.
That's kind of a big deal. Yeah, that was a big one, and I'd like to
30
see
people killed.
I'd like to see a follow up maybe on there's a lot of talk of corruption around the world and the country right now. So yeah, where's all the money for rebuilding and such at currently? Anyway, yeah. Donald Trump, president again. I feel like we're doing the Billy Joel, we didn't start the fire, which is ironic.
That's right. Skipping into February, Beyonce wins 3 Grammys in her first ever album of the year. Additional tariffs, but the Philadelphia Eagles, and this is a bit of a hindsight's 2020 thing. Philadelphia Eagles defeat the Chiefs 40-22. The 22 points, I think they were like a couple of those were garbage touchdowns later on. Not only a destruction, an absolute fucking just golden shower from the Philadelphia Eagles, if you will. But now, as we know that the Chiefs aren't going to make the playoffs for the first time in 9 years, the end of an era.
I know it's the NFL. Well, Patrick Mahomes, he's got a rehab, his first real injury of his career. Yeah. Kelsey's coming back.
Reed's going to be back.
I think if Andy Reid's back, I think they had a bad year. They had a bad season. I don't know if it's like a complacency or anything. It doesn't matter. It's the NFL, man. It's hard to stay on top like that. And yes, the Chiefs had a dynasty. I think we got. I think the Patriots ruined what we consider dynasties.
Yeah, it's true
for a long time. But that's when you're a decade in the playoffs and you win 3 Super Bowls back to back to back. I think you solidified a dynasty for an era. So yeah, they'll be all right.
97th Academy Awards, and Nora wins Oscars for Best Picture, Best Actress, Best Director. And by the way, Mikey Madison has a fucking gorgeous derriere if you haven't seen that movie. Other notable winners include Adrian Brody for Best Actor and Zoe Saldana for Best Supporting Actress. Let's see here. For the first time, confirmed colossal squid is captured on film in its natural habitat. I don't know why I read that one.
No, that's significant. This is why that's significant, is because with all the UFO stuff that's been coming out, the oceans are now reintroduced as a place we have explored very little of. There's a creature that we've heard tales about as old as time, and finally in the year 2025, we fucking witnessed one. So that's pretty fucking wild.
Yeah. 11 feet, 11.8 inches. Hold on.
What?
Colossal squid?
It's probably a sucker was 11 inches or something like that.
Gotcha. Mike Carney sworn in as the Prime Minister of Canada after Trudeau basically resigned. Astronauts Sunita Williams and Barry Wilmore returned to Earth after being in space for 268 days. I feel like that was... Did you post that? And I was like, I'm not talking about people being in space for more than a year. Fuck them.
Well, there was a lot of significance to that because they were trapped. This was happening when they couldn't get they couldn't get another rocket up there. Elon Musk was like, I can rescue them. And then there was during the election, and apparently in retrospect, like the previous administration was like, it'll look bad since you're supporting the other guy. And then they postponed it, and then Trump got in, and it was like, go get him. And then they did. And yeah, so it was like taking this thing. The International Space Station is supposed to be this non-political entity that, brings the world together. And we kind of made it political again. And but good story. They saved them. They got them. They rescued them. So
they Armageddoned them. They perfect. Yes. Lovely. April of 2020, April 21 of 2025, Pope Francis dies at age 88. Other deaths of the year include Ozzy Osbourne, Giorgio Armani, Robert Redford, Jane Goodall, Diane Keaton, someone I don't know, Rob Reiner, not to mention Hulk Hogan. And we'll get to more celebrity deaths next week with Alan on the podcast. We're going to hold off on predictions for 2026. Stay tuned. But yeah, man, every year when we get to the end of this, sorry, I didn't realize I had some. That's
I was concerned. Yeah, I don't see it. I don't even see it. I don't even see it.
Every year we get to the end of this and we recap, important people, VIP deaths. I'm like, oh my god, it's been such a bad year. It's like that every year, right?
Well, we discovered in doing this show that since we're in the entertainment era, like one of the people that's going to be on my list, I'm not going to say who it is, has basically been entertaining Americans for 80 years. And so think about how many people were entertaining us 80 years ago to how many people are entertaining us now. It's a bigger pool of people to be quote unquote shocked by their death. So it's not as shocking when a lot of people die.
Yeah, and I feel as though just the way information travels, there every now and then there's a celebrity that comes across where oh yeah, they died like 3 years ago. I'm like, what? Really? I feel like that was much more prevalent 50, 60, 70, 80 years ago.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, what? Truman died? Huh, I didn't know that.
I feel like we should have made a bigger deal about Robert Redford. I'd like to see what else was going on in the news at that moment.
Right. I don't feel like we paid tribute to him. Did we? Did we talk about the Sting? Did we talk about?
I don't think we did, because I would have brought up the Sting. Because like, there's Shaw. What's his name? The guy who played Quint in Jaws.
Robert Shaw.
Robert Shaw. Okay, he's got like one of the greatest like throwaway lines in cinema in the Sting, and it's like he's like, I can't remember exactly. He's like, you called the horse in the fourth race and blah 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 blah. How? It's the way he says how. It's like this starts in this weird spot and ends in this weird spot, and it's just it's brilliant. And by the way, that that's from the Sting. Nobody knows that.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Great movie.
And a very young and a very handsome. What the hell's his face? He was in Slapshot.
Oh fuck! He has salad dressing.
He was in The Hustler.
He's better known for his salad dressing. Now, fuck! Oh, this no. We can't do this. Paul Newman. There he is. Paul Newman. And by the way, their roles were supposed to be reversed, but one of them didn't want to play the bad guy. The worst version.
Yeah, the worst. Yeah. India launches a series of missile strikes at multiple bases at Pakistan. This is May, by the way. Conflict was triggered by an attack on April 22nd, which gunmen opened fire at tourists near a resort town in somewhere in India. I can't remember. It's like God, what are they? Palaham Jammu Kashmir. All right, sorry, my apologies.
Kashmir is pretty well known.
Oh, okay, so these are three different places. It looked like it was one place. My apologies.
Yeah, it's a bad spot of the world to have bullets flying. That's for sure.
That's true. Yes, very. I dare I say I don't think they like one another.
No, I dare you to say it. Yes. But what is fascinating, which I do think keeps them out of conflict, is the pageantry at their little border when they do their little peacock dances towards each other. It's quite comical, and I think keeps tensions down. They basically, have you ever seen this? The two guards when they're shutting the gate?
No, but I've seen a couple cricket games that gotten pretty wild.
Well, at the end of their broadcast day, when they close the border between the two countries, they basically do kind of a dance-off, if you will, and they wear like these ridiculous like rooster-topped helmets that are like mohawk in shape, and then they do like these high-step fucking like front kick moves, and then the other one goes, and then they walk in step with each other, and they stare each other down. It's both intense and hilarious.
I'd say that sounds like a Georgia-Florida football game, except everyone's loaded, drunk.
Wouldn't be surprised if it's not the same with this.
That's it. Let's see everyone do the chicken dance now. USDA approves first in-home cervical cancer test. I didn't know that. Congratulations, USDA. Air India Flight 171 crashes in, Jesus Christ, another town. They're killing me with these town names.
You don't have to say them. Just crashes in India. 242
passengers and crew member on board die. Only one survives.
That's right. That's the guy. That's the guy that they were like, they made multiple animations that were all inaccurate, where everybody imagined that that's how he survived.
And I realize this because 9/11 conspiracy theorists were saying this plane crashed into this building and it didn't fall down. I remember now. Sorry, I feel as though I'm pissing on the graves of 242 people that died by bringing up my own fucking bullshit. Whatever. Sorry. Get your own podcast. No Kings protests, June 14th. Florida Panthers win their second consecutive Stanley Cup by beating the Edmonton Oilers in 6 games, a repeat of the 2024 Stanley Cup.
Question about hockey. Hockey is a more entertaining sport now than the NBA. How do they flip the positioning on the televised charts? How do we get hockey to jump into the mainstream like the NBA somehow did? Do they need...
Here's the deal. Whether or not you know this, or whether or not this is highly publicized, more people in China watch the NBA than the United States.
That makes... Say no more. I understand.
It's probably not going to happen.
Gotcha. No, that's fair. That's what ruined the movies for a decade. Everybody's like, what's wrong with cinema now? It's like, oh, because they made movies to appease the Chinese audience when, when there's a extra billion eyeballs.
That's right. Who have money for the most part.
I get it. But then you're like, but why'd the movie suck? It's because they didn't make it for you.
That's right. They start doing the American, the reverse dub version.
Yeah. No, that's why those Transformers movies sucked, because Asians are into robots. And so they made sure that those Transformers movies really dug deep into the Asian market and then said, hey, young white boy that we made the cartoon for, you'll like some of this. But not all of this.
That's right. It'll tap into your 1980s love affair. What we have here? Israel-Iran conflict. The U.S. military strikes Iranian nuclear sites with bunker buster bombs. I don't remember that. June 22nd.
Really?
Kind of, but on the same day, the Oklahoma City Thunder defeated the Indiana Pacers in the NBA Finals. So maybe my mind was
much more important.
Elsewhere.
Yeah,
Right.
It's the first time the U.S. flew fucking stealth bombers into a very hostile enemy's territory and used such munitions to strike a nuclear facility.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander was hitting bombs from fucking 35 feet, bro. Not bad. Was it Axiom Mission 4, also known as AX4, the 4th commercial human spaceflight mission undertaken by Axiom Space, is launched into to the International Space Station. Some of these, there's paragraphs that are 4 or 5 sentences. So I'm thinking if you're getting that much space on this website, it's probably important. This seems wildly unimportant. I don't like it anymore.
I honestly, as much as I'm fascinated by space and everything space, it doesn't even really ring any bells for me.
Yeah. Anna Wintour steps down as the chief editor of Vogue after 37 years. Now we're getting into July here. USA ID, was it USADA? Which countries? God.
You said USAID? USAID?
Yeah.
Oh, that's the thing that Elon...
By being targeted by the President Donald Trump in the U.S. of government efficiency. Sorry. As the more I read that, I didn't want to read it anymore. And I apologize.
Yeah, no, that's the big agency that Doge went after, and everybody got their panties all bunched up. Yet we also realize that we spend a lot of money on things that are not really consequential to us and our interests. And and then everybody, one side got their panties bunched up, the other side said, because this, and then the other side said, people are dying, and the other side said, but what? Yeah, that's how that went.
Basically, I'm visualizing panties getting bunched and then stretched repeatedly.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, lovely.
And then people got bored and we moved on.
This looks like a dick hole in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Members of the Korean K-pop band BTS reunite after they complete mandatory military service. Marks the end of a 3-year hiatus. Good for you, South Korean K-pop.
Yeah, that's, you know what? I'm sure they went on a very Elvis-like service tour,
right.
but...
That's right. They did some push-ups, they did some pull-ups, they ran a few obstacle courses, then lights, camera,
K-pop.
K-pop. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Hey, good for them. You know what though? I'm not against. I don't want to say the buzzword that makes everyone angry. Israel. I like how they do their thing, where everybody mandatorily spends like 2 years in the military, 18 to 20, and then they can either stay or go. But I just feel like it creates some sort of, I don't know, nationalist pride that everybody should have a little bit of if we're going to be so goddamn cocksure about every goddamn opinion we have about everything.
Yeah, I wouldn't be against it. I don't know if I would do 2 years. It'd either be like 1 year or like a reserve type thing.
Well, I just feel like
either you do the 1 year or the reserves.
I feel like 1 year you've just gotten the actual like basic training that you would need, and then you got like a year of actual service. So yeah,
if the shit hits the fan, I would also opt to say you could do it at 17.
I'm fine with that. I'd say graduate. As soon as you graduate high school, don't make any plans for college next year because you're not going there. You're going to a climate you won't enjoy, and then you'll be home. And then maybe because you served that and the government saved all this money that, maybe you can go to school for free because it's paid for by the military that you served.
By Uncle Sam. That's right. July 23rd, American Eagle releases a controversial ad campaign titled Sydney Sweeney Has Great Genes.
Okay, it wasn't controversial. Somebody made it controversial, and then we argued about it ad nauseum.
The controversy. I don't know. Fucking get off my lawn. Get off my jeans. Get off my wiener that's extending to my jeans. Knock it off.
This is just another case of like, I don't like something, why? And then they go back. They retroactively figure out why they hate something, and it's like, genes, and she's white. Nazis.
Yeah. Nazis. There you go. That's a good fallback. OpenAI releases ChatGPT 5. I didn't even know I was on different levels of ChatGPT.
Yeah. I saw, again, I know I'm kind of an Elon fanboy, but somebody from the XAI group, they sent something out today, and they were like, because Elon Musk is rightfully angry at ChatGPT and OpenAI, or not, is it OpenAI? Yeah, OpenAI, because Elon funded them when they were a nonprofit, and then they were like, yeah, we're going to be profit now. And he's like, no, that's not what I gave you money for. This was to save humanity. So then Elon decided, I'm going to make my own competition for him. And within a year, he's now actually kind of
superseded.
They're neck and neck. ChatGPT is better than in other areas, whereas Grok is better than in different areas. Grok, I think we talked about this a couple weeks ago, but like Grok is not. Elon Musk don't give a shit, so Grok's not throttled by like correctness of any kind, politically or otherwise. And so you can get better results, in my opinion, because it's not being throttled by keywords are not being throttled. Grok don't care what you see. Whereas ChatGPT is, I think, trying to position itself to be integrated into all electronics that are commercially available. So they really kind of PG-13 themselves.
That's where I would be like, Grok don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
that's the mantra.
That's the selling point, baby.
Grok don't give a fuck. August 26th, pop sensation Taylor Swift and NFL star Travis Kelce announced their engagement on Instagram.
I'm happy for them. I am genuinely happy for them. This is why. I don't feel like these people have done anything but perform their given tasks. It's everybody else who's obsessed one way or the other over them. And so the hate and anger, I don't know, Taylor Swift wrote a lot of great songs over the last fucking 20 years now.
It turned into this like unnecessary fucking romance novel. Like, she's the hot, not cheerleader, but she's the hot the pop star and he's the football player. Oh my god, let's go make out underneath the bleachers of an NFL stadium. And the need for like having fucking Jim Nantz and Tony Romo be like, oh, there she is, cheering her little panties off. Just popping.
Here's what I will say though. There's a lot of dudes with okay, you lucked out. And this is probably one of the reasons you married your lovely wife is because she likes sports. There's a lot of prissy chicks out there who didn't give two shits about the NFL until their beloved queen fucking graced the screen. And now there's a bunch of dudes that don't get hassled on Sundays. And so that's a net positive.
That's a good point. Wow. Did never think of it like that. I'm really sorry to you all. My apologies. Fuck you. Kiss my ass. Let's see here. Blah, 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 blah. The most dramatic Gen Z protest begins in Nepal. Thousands of students have protested the government sweeping social media ban. Sorry, Nepalese people. We're done with you. September 10th. I remember this. I was actually in Barcelona. Conservative activist Charlie Kirk fatally shot while speaking at an outdoor event. Again, love him or hate him, your opinion. Otherwise, ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah. No, that was a weird turning point in the zeitgeist of the United States of America. It's like people's incorrect reactions to a assassination. That's I don't want to elaborate. I'll just say that. Many people had very incorrect reactions to that event. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah. No, you know what? I'm not gonna. I really don't want to elaborate anymore. I just kind of want to like double down on what you're saying about your opinion about someone else's beliefs. Because my stance on Charlie Kirk was he's not my bread and butter. I don't like know-it-alls who want to like smug that shit in your face. However, if you feel that strongly about it, be better. Be a better activist. Promote better. Promote the other side better. If you feel that strongly about him, which is why I was like, I just kind of like talking to Murr via webcam once a week. It's like he's better than me in that regard.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'll just say that. Exactly. The guy had a shtick. You could say it was a grift or not. Either way, it was engaging. How do I know it was engaging? Because I look at the internet pretty much daily, and that guy graced the internet.
He kind of had that Howard Stern. Remember, it's like people who like him listen for an hour and a half. Why? Answer most reasons. I don't know what he's going to say next. People who don't like him listen for 2.5 hours. Wait a minute. Why do they listen more? Answer most likely. I don't know what he's going to say next.
Exactly. But like you, I didn't hang my hat on Charlie Kirk.
You're right.
You know, like, but it was like, there's a lot of people on both sides that okay. People I find pompous. Rachel Maddow, find her pompous. Sean Hannity, find him pompous. I find people on all sides of the political aisle pompous. It does not mean I want a 30-06 round to go through their fucking neck cavity. Don't want that to happen. If you don't like them, be better at the thing that they're trying to be the best at. That's it.
You're failing at democracy when you do that shit.
Agreed.
Democracy is failing when you're pulling that stunt. It's not even a stunt. Sorry. Heinous crime. Apologies to the Kirk family for saying something that's unbecoming of someone dying.
It's just I don't know. It just seemed like a lot of people treated it so haphazardly and like to fucking go online and gloat. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. You and I being sports guys, like people who competed, like we didn't want to hate. Like when I hated someone, I wanted to beat them at their own game. That's how I won.
Yeah, and the funny thing was, I ended up like crossing paths with a lot of guys I competed against, either years or months later, and learned like, oh, you're actually kind of the same as me.
Yeah.
Weird.
We get along. We're really passionate about this thing.
Yeah, that's right.
And I just didn't like how he went about it because he was better than me sometimes. Mm-hmm. Shit. Fuck.
Yeah, right. 100%. 100%. And then again, I hate to piggyback off this. After a brief suspension of the late night talk show, Jimmy Kimmel Live returns on air 6 days prior. ABC had announced that it was indefinitely taking the show off the airways, following comments that Kimmel had made about the assassination of Charlie Kirk. I think we need to end it there. My apologies.
Oddly enough, I felt like the response and reaction to that was a net positive. Because I did feel like he was pretty contrite when he came back and was like, yeah, that was kind of... I don't know, what he said was just weird and not correct, which is what was odd about it. It wasn't even like that inflammatory. It was actually a pretty decent joke he was setting up, but
what he said wasn't that bad. But I think even the brass at ABC need to be like, no, line in the sand. The line in the sand's hard. It's not a soft line. You cannot joke or try to like imply jokes about that. When you say, oh, the what does he say? The conservative rights are really trying to fish hard to make something out of this.
Well, it was that one of their own killed one of their own, and It was like there wasn't enough information out there to know. There was more information out there to suggest the other direction than what he said on national television.
Yeah,
but it was a setup joke for the Trump ballroom, which was actually, if you took out the Charlie Kirk, that little line that got him in trouble, it was actually kind of a funny joke. But he ruined it by saying something factually incorrect, which already there was a hornet's nest with a fucking broomstick in the middle of it, and he just decided to fucking shake it for really no reason except for he just doesn't like that stuff.
I have a platform. I don't like him. I'm gonna exploit it. Yeah. Moving into October, musician and entrepreneur. Don't forget that Sean Combs is sentenced to 50 months. Earlier in the year, he had been convicted of 2 charges of transportation to engage in prostitution for drug-fueled sex parties known as freak-offs.
Yeah. Sometimes, God damn it, I shouldn't say this.
When the 50-month thing is over, he needs to put out an album called Freak-Offs.
Just own it, dude. Yeah. I guess, right? Maybe. I'm not sure. I would like to. I hope that someone, maybe I don't know if it needs to come in documentary form. I'll just put it like this. My loving boy was asking me. He's 11. He's starting to like ask questions about like race oriented things, like because he doesn't understand it, which I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for this child's ignorance on like, why do people think this is different? Aren't we all the same? Like, yeah, we are. I don't know why either. I don't want to have this conversation with you because I don't want to warp your young, obviously innocent, amazing mind. I would like someone to go through and do a documentary about rich individuals who essentially beat their charges, not because of the color of their skin, but because of the size of their wallet. I feel like that would do a lot of good for the division in America.
That was you told your son?
No, I didn't tell him that. I just
my bad.
Like in a way, I'm kind of glad Diddy beat the charges so that you can kind of be like, ha ha, not about race.
That's right. I guess like OJ could have fallen into that.
Yeah, he does. OJ Simpson 100% falls into that category.
I mean, did he do it? Come on.
Yes, 100%.
October was a very busy month. On the 19th, the team of thieves broke into the Louvre and stole 9 pieces of 19th century jewelry. The heist, remember we were talking about this. God, I thought they would have a because you had presented this. You said you didn't know this happened? I was like, no, it didn't happen. It was like millions of dollars worth of artwork had gotten taken, jewelry.
Yeah. They just went in like they were construction workers. An idea I came up with back.
Truck-mounted electric ladder, power tools, motorbikes, and took less than 10 minutes. There you go.
Yeah, just orange vests, clipboards, and just like, yep, here, just doing my job. I came up with this idea back in 1998 that you could walk into any facility as long as you had an orange vest and a clipboard and do whatever the fuck you wanted. And I think we might have even pulled that thread at some point with the traffic cone situation in Perryville at one point where we decided to redirect traffic and we just sent people out in orange vests and fucking clipboards and like, gotta go the other way until someone figured it out when we redirected them to several stops where there was no way to actually navigate the town of Perryville.
If we were older and slightly smarter, we would have had someone on the opposite end sending them back. Like, oh no, I don't know. Hold on. Oh yeah, the other way. Yeah. Yeah. Donald Trump's renovation to the White House. It's planned to begin on the West Wing. Replace the 90,000 square foot ballroom. Okay. All right. Here we go. More dancing in the White House.
It looks good. I've seen pictures. It's white marble. It looks nice. I Apparently, they were hosting people in like pop-up tents, like you would have at an outdoor wedding in a field somewhere. And so Donnie Boy was like, "Dad, it's the White House. We need a place to host." He's not wrong, and nobody paid for it. He got donations from his rich friends. Like, isn't that what we want?
I'm the best dancing president that ever was, and I'm going to show you. Look at me, look at me go, look at me go. This is, you may not know much about this, but I'm going to say an NBA betting and gambling scandal makes headlines following an indictment of Chauncey Billups, head coach of the Portland Trailblazers, and Terry Rozier, a guard for the Miami Heat. Both were alleged to have participated in illegal poker games that were facilitated by mafia crime families. It goes deeper than this. There's a point shaving scandal that's going to take place with these guys. They are not. They are still in legal fucking hell and will be for the next probably 3 or 4 years.
I just know that I've heard of players like faking injuries in order to stay on the under and stuff like that. That's
yeah.
This
is a head coach and a player in cahoots.
But in cahoots on a poker game?
No.
Point shaving?
Point shaving. This
okay.
does not dictate the point. This not mention the point shaving. Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, no, that's you've introduced gambling into professional sports, and this is what it ends up. But I will say this is what ends up happening. But we also have noticed, especially like even a thing in the UFC, this is also how you expose point shaving and dastardly deeds. So,
early in November, Los Angeles Dodgers, led by Shohei Ohtani, beat the Blue Jays.
Greatest World Series I think I've ever seen
in recent history. Phenomenal. We talked about it. You know, the 18-inning game, the game 7 that went to fucking 11, 12 at night on Friday.
God, so perfect timing. I mean, a game 7, just everything was beautiful. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That like best World Series I've seen in my adult life, period. And it didn't have any team I give two shits about. One I actually hate with a lot of passion.
Really? Okay. We might have to have a separate discussion on this because there's some World Series I think could challenge that. It was just really good.
I'm just saying, well, you got to remember that I don't watch the World Series. I don't watch the playoffs if the Baltimore Orioles specifically are no longer there. So I have missed a lot of playoff games and World Series.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. So you haven't watched any since 1983. Interesting. I'll remember that.
I have tuned in when there is a game 7, or I'll say this, a clinching game. I will tune in. So even if a team's up, like let's say it's 3-0, I'll tune in for game 4, and I'll maybe finish out the series from there. But I will not watch anything up until that point if the Orioles aren't there. So no, I have not watched a lot of playoff baseball.
Gotcha. Let's see here. We're still sticking with the November month. The last penny is minted in the United States. First produced in 1793. Hallelujah.
I agree.
Hallelujah.
See you later. Why? I have seen some of these like auditor type assholes who apparently companies are trying to round now. They claim that we ain't got no pennies no more. And so like if it comes to like 51 cents, they're trying to like dictate which way the change goes. Do you get a nickel back or do you get no nickel back? Because they're not giving you the penny.
And then so the band plays a tune like, yeah,
this is how you remind me of what pennies are. And so there's people standing their ground, and apparently now the companies are like, fine, we'll give you the nickel. All right, it's fine. We'll give you the nickel back. By the way, that's how they got their name, because one of them worked at a coffee shop. I'm paraphrasing. I could be a little bit wrong with some of these details. I think one of them worked at a Starbucks or something, and there was like something came out to 95 cents. And it was like, you got a Nickelback. So that's where Nickelback got their name.
Yeah. Actually, I think I've explained this. That's where the term just joshing you came from. The nickel and the $5 coin weren't that dissimilar. And someone like created a scheme to where basically he was profiting $4.95 every time by disposing like a nickel as a $5 coin.
Was his name Josh?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right, there you go.
No, it was Pete, and he just
just joshing you.
Just Peteing you. The longest government shutdown in U.S. history ends after 43 days in mid-November. President Donald Trump signs legislation ordering the release for the so-called Epstein files, thousands of pages of documents related to 2 criminal investigations, and that's still coming out, literally.
A lot of people know how to spell the word redacted now, so.
Fire breaks out in an apartment complex in Hong Kong and burns more than 40 hours. I don't know why that just kills 150 people.
Yeah, that might be why.
Yeah.
And a 40-hour fire. But guess what, Wes? The building didn't collapse.
I know, but steel don't melt. Tesla stakeholders approve a $1 trillion compensation package, one of the largest in corporate history for CEO Elon Musk. Under the plan, Musk could receive stock awards for up to the amount over the next decade. He meets a series of ambitious financial and operational targets. Didn't know that one.
You know that one?
Wow.
Wow.
I don't know that.
Well, I love that one because everybody's like, but who needs to be a trillionaire? And I don't think people realize is like, he doesn't have $1 trillion. He's got an evaluated potential
Net worth liquid of, yeah.
which is not liquid. It's like,
Sorry.
it's pretend he's potentially worth that much money. But if he sold all of that stock, the companies that he would no longer exist. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that would be the end of it. Done.
An evaluation. Yeah, I gotcha.
Yes. So watch Shark Tank sometime. Get some rudimentary knowledge of what that means. It also means he has to actually provide a product to humanity that works in order to attain that goal. So, there's a lot more details than just, he's a trillionaire. Nobody needs a $1 trillion. He doesn't have it, and they're not giving it to him.
Who needs that? Rounding out December, social media ban for those younger than 16 goes into effect in Australia. Don't remember this. This includes YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, X, and TikTok. Wow, Australia. Laying down the hammer.
I like it. However, it does not include certain websites that apparently that lobbied, such as Blue Sky, which is the very liberal version of X. So it's very convenient for one voice to continue to be heard by the youth of the world and one voice not to be. So there's some problems there, but in spirit, I champion that law because I don't think kids are quite ready for people to hate on Stranger Things in the way they have.
We weren't, and we made it.
Yeah, I agreed. You're right. 100% right.
Lastly, the 250th anniversary of Jane Austen's birth is celebrated. The English novelist wrote such beloved novels as Sense and Sensibility, Pride and Prejudice, Emma, and many of her works were adapted into TV or film. So there you have it. A year in review on the Middle Class Souls. Tell us your thoughts. Let us know if we missed anything. Let us know if you think our opinions suck asshole.
Bet you will. 2025, just after reviewing it in that manner, I don't know, were there anything, did we leave out anything good? It just kind of
the Hulkster's death.
I mean, that wasn't good. I mean, saying that whole thing that you just read kind of left me with like a in my mouth.
The yucky aftertaste.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need we have the 250th anniversary of the nation coming up.
Yeah, the ball in New York is going to stay. They're going to drop it again on between the 3rd and the 4th. They're going to celebrate it much like a New Year kind of thing.
The World Cup.
We got the fucking UFC on the White House lawn coming up. And fuck you guys. Anybody hating on it just because it's Donald Trump? Is it kind of fucking trashy? Yeah. Yes, it's a Kid Rock Christmas. That's what this is. But you know what? Is fucking, as much as a Kid Rock Christmas smells like stale Miller Lite on a fucking unsealed wooden floor, it's gonna be fucking fun.
Yeah. What? Listen, I'll tell you, I'm not a Trump supporter. I don't like the guy. That is badass. Come on, it's a mutually exclusive. You can enjoy that shit.
This is like, to me, this is like that delineation line, okay, I don't know. Can you love your country too much? I think some people have proven that maybe the answer is yes.
Yeah.
However, hating your country too much is poisonous. I think there's a good middle ground of where you can be proud to be an American. And sometimes, look, America can be trashy sometimes, but sometimes trashy's fun. Let's embrace all versions of loving the country. Sometimes that trashy version, good. Yeah. Where you don't got to show up with a tie. That's a fun time. That's a good time.
This is like a good rite of passage question for any young man. What was your first strip club? You know that shit wasn't a classy joint.
No, not at all.
You wouldn't go to some glitz and glamour spot with fucking where you had to wear a tuxedo. No.
18, went to New Jersey. I think the lady just like she made me put my the Dorothy in my mouth so she could take it out with her tits, and then of course somebody stuck their tongue out right before I got there, and I got fucking this wet face. And I'm like, oh, I thought that would be nicer than it was. Oh.
That's right. Yeah. Trashy's fun, man. This is what we're talking about.
Made uncomfortable.
But yeah, I did like the UFC on the White House lawn. God, they did ill to the naysayers, man. Stop with that fucking. That's just people hating for the sake of hating.
It's gonna be glorious. I heard Dana White talking about like the setup. He is gonna spare. He might not even make money on this thing. He's just like, I don't give a fuck. They got to pay like $2 million to resurface the fucking the lawn already. Like $1 million to tear it up, to flatten it out, and $1 million to put it back together when they're done. Damn. Fuck it.
Yeah. And when's this going down?
I think it might be right around that 250 mark. And I hear that I have to find out more. I heard they were going to do a World's Fair again starting in the next year or so, which I think is cool. We haven't had a good World's Fair in a long time. Have all the greatest technology just on display for a full year for everybody to go check out in the middle of the country for, which is fine, I guess.
Where'd you say it was going down? St. Louis, Chicago?
It's like in the right in the middle, yeah, like somewhere like Midwest, like somewhere like take Ohio and then draw a line straight down somewhere in that area.
Okay. Well, wow.
I think it'd be cool to go, like a lame Disney World. Yeah. A lot of good fair food, I'm sure.
Philadelphia hosting the All-Star game, so the 250th anniversary.
Yeah, and like you said, the World Cup fucking coming to town. That's gonna be. That's just going to be cool. It's going to be cool to be able to watch the World Cup without having to do math and figure out what time zone it's in.
7 a.m. Cool. All right. I'm ready. I'm ready to roll.
Yeah. Like I'm sure they're going to have some night games, which are going to be awesome. I mean, and I don't know. I mean, I'm glad. Look, okay, whatever. It's like a hemispherian World Cup. So what is it? U.S., Canada, and Mexico all getting games.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that's cool, but the U.S. has set up a lot of MLS stadiums over the last like 15, 20 years, and
none of them will be played in any of those stadiums.
That's wild that happened.
All football stadiums.
I know, that's crazy. I don't know. Oh well, it's still gonna be fun.
Well, Happy New Year to you, brother.
Happy New Year.
Yeah, well, folks, we'll be back next week. We'll do guess your celebrity deaths in 2026. We'll recap who died in 2025. I think I was the only one who scored. Maybe I'm wrong. Which you said, I do remember this. You said something along the lines of like, you're an asshole. You just picked the most ill.
Who was it? Shannon Doherty, who had like stage 4 breast cancer or something?
2 years ago. This past year was Steve McMichael.
Oh yeah, Mongo McMichael. I mean, it's a good pick because it's somebody nobody really thinks about, and 98% of the population is going to go, who? And
oh, you mean the Chicago Bears lineman? Like, oh yeah, but he was also a wrestler.
Remember the Four
Horsemen? Yeah. All right, we will see you next week. Happy New Year to you all. Let's bring 2026 into bigger and better things here on the Middle Class. Let's take her easy.